Hi, I'm Ashley Hawkins and I am the manga librarian. And today we're talking about what I've been reading this week. So, this is a new sort of thing I'm trying because I feel like a lot of what I've been doing lately is talking about various genres. And I also want to talk about like titles and what I'm reading. And I think that can kind of help with collection development for librarians and also just kind of talk about like what it is I'm enjoying right now. So I'm going to talk about, um, you know, I'm going to keep it to Japanese associated content or related content to the channel. So I'm not going to talk about whatever other things I'm reading. You know, as a school librarian, I'm obviously reading YA and other stuff to keep current, but let's talk about the manga and light novels I've been reading this week. So, first off, obviously, I have been reading Mobile Suit Gundam Awakening Escalation Confrontation, which is the novelization of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series. It's the one that's currently available on Crunchyroll. Right now, like, I'm very invested in all the Universal Century stuff. And I have like a bias towards all of it. The reason why I really wanted to read this is because it is written by Yoshiyuki Tomino, who is the director and creator of Gundam. And all the novelizations and things that he's associated with actually have alternate endings and events that occur within them. So I was very interested to read an alternate take on the anime and see what it was that Tomino maybe wanted to envisioned for the series. And I really have liked this. I actually really like novelizations of like mecha stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of the Full Metal Panic novels. So I really liked this. There's a lot more of the stuff that I wanted to see in the actual series. Also, like, the animation in the original series is kind of rough, so it's kind of nice to be able to picture certain events in your own mind. Because depending on where they were budget-wise, certain scenes just needed a little bit more oomph. So this was really good. The ending is, like I said, completely alternate and doesn't really fit in with what happens later in Zeta, Double Zeta, Char's Counterattack, and other things. But I actually like the way it sort of resolves itself. I just find alternate takes kind of interesting, and I like that you can kind of read something different. So I really like this. Maybe this will be the last time I pick this up in a video and go, hey, da, da, da. It is also just right here. But yeah, this was really good. I had to get it in print. I'm trying to like reduce my print purchasing because we're actually in our apartment, we're very stuck for space. My husband has like a fairly big video game collection, and so I try to not bring too many books in because books can be a big space suck. And also just I always have a tendency to like eventually bring books into the library. So I've been trying to be good about trying to make digital purchases when I can, but this you can only get in paperback. But it's worth it, and I'm pretty sure Matt will read it at some point. So the rest of them are digital, so I'm going to actually switch over to a screen share function, which, you know, getting fancy here. So I have actually recently made the shift over to Bookwalker from Comixology. This is a shift that I've been wanting to make. So this looks like I have barely anything in my collection, but it's because I was on Comixology. I really wanted to get away from that. So these are books that I have purchased for myself, and, you know, not, you know, for the, you know, I try to utilize libraries when I can for obvious reasons because I'm a librarian, but if there are things that I'm not sure if they're going to work for our library collection, if they're not available at the library, if they are not available on Overdrive for me to purchase digitally, then I will purchase it for myself, and I now do that on Bookwalker. The reason why I use Bookwalker, there's actually a few different reasons why I use Bookwalker. The first one is that I like Bookwalker's interface. I feel like there's the widest variety on Bookwalker. It has a direct connection to Japan, and also there's a great coin back sort of setup where every time I make a purchase, I get coins back, and then I can use those coins in order to pay it forward to different orders. So actually I save a lot more money using Bookwalker than I was on Comixology, and I really wish I had made the switch earlier because I think I could have saved a lot more money. So this is what I currently have. The switch was fairly recent. Right now I'm sticking to just manga. I haven't moved over in terms of light novels, although I think eventually I will. Although I'm reading through I'm working on light novels that we have in my school library digital collection right now. But let's talk a little bit about what I actually have been reading. So first off, there is a series that I've been meaning to read for forever because I'm a huge fan of the mangaka's original work, and that is Eniel and Dwelia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's by Kamome Shirahama, who is the mangaka behind Witch Hat Atelier. And this is her more adult comedy, supernatural series. So it's the same gorgeous artwork that you associate with Witch Hat Atelier, but a much different story. And I just haven't gotten around to reading it yet. So I sat down and I read both volumes, and it's just as good as everyone says it is. Like I said, it's a much more adult series. And it's just really gorgeous illustrations, line art, but also really funny and fun to read. I really enjoyed reading this. the best way to kind of sum this up is that it is essentially a gender flipped Good Omens, with all hijinks. So this is a series that I just really recommend. And yeah, it's just really, really fun. From there, another one, this one I actually enjoyed quite a bit. It's called Otaku Elf. I really need them to put this on, I need them to put this on Overdrive already. I think it'll get there eventually. It's a reverse isekai where there is an elf who has been summoned to Earth to be the god of a shrine, and she's just a major otaku, and she wants to lay around and be lazy, and the shrine maiden, who is in charge of kind of taking care of her, really works to kind of whip her into shape and you know, get her out there and engaged with the world. And it's just, it's a fun series, or a fun, so far it's only one volume. It just came out a couple days ago. I had a lot of fun reading it. There's a lot of fun sort of gags in it, and I think this is just this is going to be a great series to have in the collection. So I really need them to either put it on Overdrive or I'll pick it up when we're back in the building. Because I don't know, I had a lot of fun reading it. I think the art's pretty good. It's a fun concept. So that's another one that I read. I also recently read this one, Do You Like the Nerdy Nurse? Which, I mean, you look at it at first and it looks like it's a spicier title than it actually is. It's basically about this school nurse who is an otaku, and one of the students has figured it out, and they sort of form a connection based on that, and it's more about just sort of otaku culture and her sort of obsessions, and each chapter kind of delves a little bit into a particular element of otaku culture. And it's just a fun, sort of light read. It's funny. So far, there isn't a relationship between the nurse and the student beyond a sort of friendly relationship, and I'm hoping it doesn't go any further than that. If it does, then my like of this series will go down. But so far, it's just about people who have a mutual understanding. So, that... and there's actually like really sweet moments in it that I think are really nice. There's a scene in this. Here's the tricky thing about using a digital format. There's a scene where she actually meets up with an artist of a doujinshi that she likes, and she is able to express how much she likes it, and in doing so, it's actually like this really nice reflection on how you can sort of show appreciation for people who create things that you love. So it was, I liked it. I like it. I like any sort of reflection on like an older fan, I guess. And then finally, this is actually a manga based on a light novel that I really, really love, which is called I'm in Love with the Villainess. It's an isekai about a girl who is transported into the world of an otome game, where an otome game is a dating simulation game. And rather than try to chase after any of the guys, she is in love with the villainess. And she pursues her wholeheartedly. And it's actually really nice. It's really well done. It's actually a really sweet love story. And it's just a really good read. The manga is really well adapted. It follows the light novel very consistently. It's just well done. So like this week has been widely, it's been pretty good in terms of what I've read. I haven't read anything that I was disappointed in or wish I could return. It's been pretty nice. All my purchases were things that I'm like, oh, I'll even like reread some of these things. Definitely Eniel and Dualia, I'll definitely look at again. So that's what I've been reading this week. And I'll try and do this each week. Keep it nice and short and simple, under 20 minutes, much shorter than my other videos. Yeah, if there's anything you would like me to read, let me know. Anything you're interested in or you have heard your patrons talking about that maybe you want to know more about, let me know. There's a good chance that I have access to it or might be interested in reading it, unless it's shonen. But if it's on Shonen Jump, actually, I can read it pretty easily. So that's really it for right now. I have more to read. You probably saw there's more on the shelf that I haven't gotten to yet because I've got other things going on too at the same time. I am on spring break though, so I think next week I might have a giant pile of stuff that I've read. I have a backlog and I have been working on it. It's Wednesday now, so I was able to read through quite a bit yesterday. So that's really it. I hope you enjoyed this or whatever. I hope it's helpful, and I will see you in the next video.